and the title of her speech is Turning Tech into Change.
Martin Luther King Jr., Mary Curie, Thomas Edison, Rosa Parks. These people were all leaders of change. People, pioneers, inventors, advocates. People who went against the normalities of their generation and fought for change with the resources they had at the time. Leaders of the past would love to be in our shoes. They would love to have the opportunities and the resources that our generation holds today. Resources for which they spent decades trying to reach and influence thousands of people we can simply release in a tweet. This generation has the rare and valuable opportunity to subsequently change the world for the better by using technology through innovation. Imagine what leaders of the past could create and execute if they had the resources that our generation holds today. What changes would they have made? People they would influence? Actions that they would take? Now ask yourself, why does that same logic not apply for us? If leaders of the past could create more with less, then why can't we do the same? Imagine all that we could do with the technological innovations of the present. Technology has always been a part of humans' innovation. What distinguishes the essence of humanity relies in our ability to harness our intelligence for the advancements of technologies that enhance our cognitive, social, and physical capabilities. Now, that could look different depending on where you stand at a point in time. A spear for the old Stone Age, a light bulb for the 1800s, a microwave for the 50s, iPhones for the 2000s, and now artificial intelligence for the present. As a member of Generation Z, I have always felt the weight of my responsibility of my parents' generation, what they created for me and what their parents created for them. Each generation has their own contributions to society. Good or bad, it still created a lasting impact for which newer generations must face today. And what will be that for our generation? Generation Z, I mean. What will be our contribution to society? Every day, I receive the news. It shouts at me through my phone. Another help, it says, I'm dying. Another school shooting, another mass violence, another bombing of innocents, another oil spill, another glacier melted, another virus, another war. How horrible is too much? In panic, I shout back, what can I do? It tells me there's nothing I can do. I have no money, no resources, no connections, no influence, and no power. And no power. Yeah. I accept my fate, the world's fate, the fate of our future. The people in charge have the resources, the opportunities, the money, the influence, and the power. But I am done waiting for them, because if I wait for them to decide my future, that day may never come. That is why it is up to us to take our future into our own hands. With the resources we have, and with something more, the desire to do so. Let us be the spark that creates change. No one is coming to save us. Now, let's take a look at how Generation Z's future is intertwined with technology and the way that it is being used to the way that it could be used. According to the New York Post, Generation Z constitutes approximately 1/3 of the global population. The fastest rising generation were the initial members of Gen Z were born at a time when the internet was becoming widely accessible. They are often called as digital natives, since technology has been integrated into their everyday lives. This generation ranges from a broad spectrum where the oldest members have entered the workforce and have financial responsibilities and are paying rent, to the youngest members who are still in their early teens. As true digital natives, they are Gen Z, in a general sense, are highly active online. They're known for shopping, dating, socializing, and even socializing online. Um, in Asia, it is common for Gen Z to dedicate more than 6 hours daily to their smartphones. Technology undoubtedly has numerous benefits and conveniences to society. However, there are also negative effects that face Generation Z. For example, the rise of social media also brought the rise of cyberbullying, which takes an enormous toll on Generation Z's mental health. Privacy concerns, misinformation, screen addiction, and a constant need for online validation are all high risks as Generation Z navigates their way through the digital world. What 98% of Gen Zs own a smartphone and 90% are social media users, which means that this technology is this generation's toolkit. It is a resource providing access to an expansive, wide-ranging sea of information, which covers what is on the other side of the world, what's happening on the other side of the world, and is constantly being updated. What our generation chooses to do or not to do with this remarkable modern tool will, believe it or not, define the future of our species. So, as we've seen from data and analytics, technology has both a numerous flow of benefits that could unite our communities and help us towards a better, brighter future, or one that could tear us apart and turn us against each other. It all depends on the way that we choose to use technology. So, what is the solution here? How can we use technology to our advantage and our benefit? How can we harness this modern tool and its transformative potential that will either make or break our generation? Well, it is to implement a more mindful use of technology. In other words, to directly apply a solutions-oriented mindset. Solutions-oriented individuals are people who go beyond merely solving problems. They actively pinpoint the root causes of challenges and offer appropriate solutions. So believe it or not, this mindset has actually been applied before in the real world. So let's take a look at how technology has been used in the real world to combat social and global challenges. So in Mumbai Dharavi slum, girls in India have learned to code. Using their new skills and abilities, they have created apps that combat local challenges such as gender-based violence and access to clean water. So the girls have created apps like Women Fight Back, which is created to prevent violence against women and offers a distress alarm and emergency contact numbers. Gender-based violence, especially violence against women, are critical issues in India, as 30,000 rapes have been reported annually. Another critical issue is access to clean water. This issue disproportionately affects women and girls as they wait in long lines, often missing school as a result. So the Dharavi girls, to address this issue, created an app called Pani, which is an online queue system that notifies families when it is their turn to collect water. Since its launch in 2014, with 15 girls, the Dharavi team has now grown to include 200 students, including boys. The team highlights their initiatives as they want to raise awareness about these challenges so that they may have the resources to address them. Another example is CertPro. So after a 2013 tornado in Oklahoma, three seventh grade students banded together to create the team called Protons, and they created that in the after-school math class. They then participated in a technology competition created by the Army. And with that, in collaboration with the Army, they were able to create an app called CertPro, which stands for Community Emergency Response Team Professional. This app not only tracks volunteers, but also makes sure that disaster-affected communities get the federal aid that they deserve. So here we can now see the leaders of our generation. we can now see the leaders of our generation. What did these two examples have in common? Well, both creators used a solutions-oriented mindset. They identified an issue that was relevant to their community, cultivated a solution, and the result was lasting impact. Although these apps are not hugely wide-scale yet, they are still serve as a hopeful beacon for Gen Z to follow in their footsteps and to provide and to take similar actions using a solutions-oriented mindset. Actions that Gen Z can take right now are to support funding drives, donations, being involved in programs, and even just educating yourself, so you yourself are spreading awareness. By taking action, you are setting a standard for the new generation as pioneers of change and action. As you leave this talk, I want you to remember that the world is in our own hands. It is up to us no one is coming to save us except ourselves. So, it is up to us to take our future into our own hands. So this generation has the unlimited opportunity and potential to create a better tomorrow, one that we can call home. So take it. Take this opportunity. The future is coming and will arrive whether we want it to or not. The question is, what are you going to do about it? Thank you.